This is a live broadcast looking at the current state of the traffic from Paynesville to central Monrovia. As you may be aware, recently commercial drivers recently announced a go slow action that on Monday they were going to park all of their vehicles, claiming that the Liberia National Police have over the time issued tickets they believe are not genuine and were given to them unnecessarily. So based upon that, they announced on Wednesday and Thursday that they would have staged a go slow action, and they were calling on tricyclists to form part of today's go slow action. Yes, if you visit some of the parking lots, you will see some of the commercial vehicles are packed, but it seems like the keke riders or the tricyclists did not adhere to the position coming from the commercial drivers. So you find tricyclists still plying the street, especially from the Douala side, the Japan's freeway, the Fendel area, and even the RIA highway. You still have tricyclists going about the usual traffic. But then if you look carefully, you see commercial vehicles plying the Totman Boulevard route. I see the taxis, and I've seen some trucks, because one of the things they said was that the continual trucks around the free pool of Monrovia would have formed part of their protest. So we will also drive there to see. But as of what we are seeing on the Totman Boulevard route, commercial drivers are running. This is Oro Junction, and if you see you have vehicles running on the Oro, and there are vehicles also as well running from ELWA Junction to Central Monrovia. Yes, it's obvious that there are passengers along this route who are finding it difficult to get commercial vehicles, but the Inspector General of the Liberia National Police actually pay a visit in the commercial district of Red Light because of news that was coming in that the commercial drivers who have agreed to stage a go slow action by parking their vehicles were also preventing some of the drivers who say, well, I'm not going to form part of. I'm not going to form part of the go slow action by the drivers, and so they decided putting their vehicles on the road, but then they were being stopped. And if you listen to the petition statement, this was one issue they raised, that they will have several stops along the various routes where drivers who will violate the go slow action by putting their vehicles on the road will also be prevented from running traffic. So that the Inspector General of the Liberia National Police deemed as a violation against the rights of others who are not in line with the go slow action. Because mind you, the vehicles you see running in Monrovia and across the country are owned by separate individuals. So you cannot tell me that because you believe that the issuing of tickets by the Liberia National Police to commercial drivers is unlawful and unnecessary, so I too should park my vehicle and go slow in line with your position statement. So the Inspector General of the Liberia National Police and the entire team visited red light, and they actually spoke with some of the protesters or drivers who are on go slow. And what was being said there by the IG was that we only heard of the mandate on social media that commercial drivers should stay away from the traffic on Monday or beginning Monday, because we are being targeted by the police tickets for unjustifiable reasons. So I just said, well, as per law, once you have issues and you want the police to address them, what you do is to write the police, or you can even come at the headquarters of the Liberia National Police and we can sit and talk, instead of just that is unofficial. So we would rather urge you to do a formal communication to the Liberia National Police, or you come at the headquarters of the Liberia National Police, so we sit and talk and see how best we can find a remedy to some of the issues that are being raised by the commercial drivers. And as you may be aware, prior to the Ministry of Transport and the LTN battling for supremacy about who is the legitimate body to issue driver licenses across the country, So we try to institute the necessary measures. When the police started refusing running election us, we were clean that we were giving police money. When the police took their gun, then they began difficulty. The issuance of this stamp campaign. Also, that's what the drivers and so the drivers. The situation is it's OT from morning to night. So if this action continues with the drivers going slow back in their vehicle, we've seen this before and the results were not good. We hope it doesn't continue. We hope that I'm sure by now meetings are taking place behind closed doors to remedy the situation, to bring the situation to a peaceful resolution. Because if it doesn't happen, a lot of people will suffer, mostly those who are not vehicle owners, those who are depending on the regular transport. There's a new government, less than 2 years old. I'm not saying getting chance to do more or getting time, but all I can say is that work along with them, see where they are doing better and where they need to do more. And I also think that go slow is not always the best option, but sometimes to go do it because they want to call the attention of government. But I just hope, like I said earlier, that the drivers and all those involved with take seize of the matter. If you look at the issue that the issues that are being raised, take for instance, the drivers are saying the police is issuing tickets unjustifiably. But my colleague every time is legal now, so like I told you, he was just chipping in. But folks, if you look at some of the concerns that have been raised by the drivers, how in the world you have two persons sitting in the front seat of the car and you have four at the back with heavy load? If you see some of the loads that are being carried by just taxi, you want to offload, and it will even fit in a truck. But that, if you were to ask the drivers, they will say that should be let go off, because as long they are able to carry the load, and in fact it is their vehicle, that shouldn't be an issue. But this is a country of law, and you cannot say that once you are caught in violation of the vehicle and traffic law, the officer should just allow you go free. There are penalties to every violation, and though we are not saying that some of the tickets or all of the tickets that are being given to commercial drivers are unlawful, but this is one thing that I've seen over the time. If you were to take a drive along the Kakata Highway in the evening or in the morning hours, you will see drivers are placing people in the trunk of the vehicle, and then they are not just 1, 2, but you see 4, 5, especially the market women who are actually coming from the farm and taking their produce to the market ground. They are also doing same. So if you look here, just around the Stella Marie area or the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, you see the National Transit Authority, the NTA, and they have one of the buses here, and the NTA buses are out, because this is why we have consistently called on the National Transit Authority to make sure you have buses in country that are sufficient, because your job is to provide easy access in terms of transportation services to the populace. So in terms of situation like this, you will have the NTA having their buses all along the road. So if commercial driver deems it necessary that they are going slow because of XYZ reason, it wouldn't be an issue that will cause pedestrians to have difficult times in moving from one place to another, because the NTA will be well positioned to curtail any form of embarrassment to the movement of people from one place to another. So yes, but gradually over time, as the NTA authorities have already secured about 55 buses and 4 trucks that are due in country anytime next month, and by that we wouldn't have pedestrians finding it difficult to. But if you were to see the number of vehicles, commercial vehicles along the Todman Boulevard, it seems to me that the drivers who are running from red light to Central Town are not in agreement with the go slow. Yes, they are not in agreement with the go slow actions being taken by the group, because you see keke riders here running from Central Town to Matadi, using the Jalatan route. So some of the vehicles that are actually engaged into this go slow action might be the ones that are running off the city center going to Banga Nimba. But then while on my way to work, I also saw these commercial buses, and they are running. So this is just coming from a segment of the drivers who believe that the tickets that have been given by the police, among other issues, are unnecessary, and the police is saying no, we cannot continue on doing business as usual, that once you are caught and then you just take $50, $100 and give it to the police officer, and then you are let go despite the violation. So that the Inspector General of the Liberia National Police made clear to the drivers. And here you can see another NPA bus here parked, but this time there should be a charter flight. So the NTA buses are now being visible across the country, and gradually we will get there as the issue of transportation services will be something of the past. But yes, this is a live broadcast. We started from Paynesville and we are somewhere around Crown Hill, and we will move along the Freeport of Monrovia route, and then we will also move on the Japan's freeway and cut into red light. But yes, I'm here with my colleague Aaron Talu, and so you see from here, you see commercial vehicles are here and taking passengers. So it's no problem that you are the owner of your vehicle, and some of you who are commercializing your vehicle, you have to make report either daily or weekly or monthly. So if you see the person who is taking a go slow action by parking their vehicle, I don't know how long they're gonna continue on the go slow action, because although I actually making use of the system, and if I were the one on traffic, assuming that drivers decided today to go slow, well, I think I will have my vehicle running up to 12 midnight so that I can try to accrue some of the monies that. Okay, yeah, you see another MTA. So I'll try to generate a lot of funds to save myself some of the, because once you have all the vehicles running, you alone are not the only driver on the traffic, so it takes time for you to even get passenger. But now you have drivers. Once you lower your vehicles and you get to the final destination, you already have people there in queue waiting for you. So somewhere around the Vatan, around the Vatan area. So tricyclists along this route. Tricyclists along this route. Making use. And what I've observed so far is we are not witnessing the huge traffic as usual. So people are moving with ease. But as some of the social media platforms are running with the news that all of the vehicles are parked, and you see, if you look here carefully, we've just passed by almost 2 container trucks that are offloading goods to some of the stores here. And they actually say that, so this is not a collective effort, as they will have you to believe that commercial drivers across the country. So if you look ahead of us, maybe Aaron, you want to zoom on the truck that is just before us. You see the truck is carrying flour and sugar in it, and these are trucks that are used to distribute goods to various stores in Monrovia and across the country. So don't be carried away that, well, the go slow action today is a lockdown of the city. Commercial vehicles are not plying the street. No, it's just a segment of the commercial drivers, and not even 50%, but just a segment, if you may, maybe 30% or 20% of the overall commercial drivers across the country that are parking their vehicles and saying, well, we have a lot of money in our pockets, and I think today we can just park our vehicles and have a data. Because to say to the police that no more ticket, I heard them saying no more ticket. It's almost like criminals coming together and saying no more arrest. Police shouldn't arrest us for committing crimes across the country. And I think drivers in their mind will not agree with that. If it should come from the criminals who are always attacking people, taking their valuables away from them. But yes, this is the job we do, to give you a vivid look of things others may not have the Smeko area. I see kekes, which you will want to refer to as tricycles, moving here and there. So one thing as a union that you should be doing is to see how best you can talk to your drivers. What we should do is to stay off the red zone of the Liberia National Police, take one passenger in the front and four at the back. Make sure, imagine the other day when my boss, Mr. D. Flomo, and I, along with Aaron, we were actually making our way to the Temple of Justice. There was this driver who had almost 100 bed of coal on the over the taxi, and then he was being called upon by the police officer to get down the vehicles, the vehicle, and move to the officers who were actually standing before the taxi. And we trust you to know that the driver came down from the vehicle, but then he had on slippers. And then that I was actually looking at it, but then this is just the first violation. You are not going to go off the hook from this issue with the police, because though you were parked for the number of bags that were actually over the taxi, and the police, maybe they were actually parking you or stopping you for improper carrying, but then for you to even disembark the vehicle, you came out with another violation again by wearing slippers. So these are some of the many issues that the police will actually give you ticket for. Why would you want to drive a vehicle from Paynesville or from red light to Ganta wearing slippers, or from red light to Central Monrovia wearing slippers? So it's just a simple thing that you as a driver can regulate your own activities before getting on the vehicle or getting in the traffic. There are some drivers who you have running today. You wouldn't see them come in confrontation with the police, because the first thing is the man has his driver license, a vehicle is registered. You will not see him. Imagine a driver will go ahead parking a vehicle in the bus stop or to the bus stop for hours, and then you believe that the driver or the police shouldn't give you ticket. The bus stop is not meant for parking vehicle there for hours. It's not a parking lot. You drive a passenger and you pick off. So if you want to park to a bus stop, And then for hours, how do you expect other vehicles to drop off passengers? Now you'll be causing a total embarrassment for other vehicles who will want to park, or drivers who will want to park to the bus stop to drop off passengers. You have them parking on the road, and then once they are caught, to obviously your action will cause the police to give them ticket as well. So this is the Japan's freeway, just like the Freeport of Monrovia and the Vartan route, and we are moving towards the red light market. So commercial vehicles are applying the streets of Monrovia, Paynesville, Garnerville, Bannersville, and even vehicles are also going out of time. We will not negate the fact that there are other drivers who have actually parked their vehicles. Yes, that is also taking place, but they are not in their numbers as they will have you to believe that only private vehicles are applying the streets of Monrovia and other parts of the country. No. So this broadcast is intended to give you a fresh information. So we are somewhere around the New Georgia Junction. So the police have said, if you as driver decided to stay off the traffic today, well, it is your right. For as long as you want to stay off the traffic, it is your right. But please do not embarrass drivers who disagree with you to stay off the traffic, to go slow. Do not go against their rights. They too have the right to put their vehicle on the road and run, just as you as a driver decided to stay off the traffic today, and your action did not see the police coming to arrest you, to take you to prison for not putting your vehicle on the road. No. So the same applies to people who are actually not part of your protest or your go slow actions, and they too have the right to come out and run their vehicles so that they can have money for they and their family. So just past the supermarket, and we are fast approaching the Bannersville Junction. So yes, I see the Bannersville Junction. And good for some of the folks here. For this route, tricycles are being allowed to plow this route. Unlike the Totman Boulevard route, where it's prohibited that motorcycles and tricycles plow that route. This route, the Chipens Freeway is accessible to motorcycles, tricycles, and the rest of the commercial vehicles. They can plow this route. So from the Bannersville Junction, we are fast approaching the Chicken Soup Factory Junction, and on my left is the headquarters of the National Transit Authority. So we are at the Chicken Soup Factory Junction, and from Chicken Soup Factory Junction next is the Stephen Tobo Estate Junction. So yes, commercial vehicles are plying the street. Amidst the go slow action by some drivers, we still have other drivers who are we are just past the Stephen Tobo Estate Junction. And this is the Double Bridge community. The Double Bridge community will now usher us this is the Amagashi Truck Garage area. So however you joining us, from where you joining us, we love to say thanks for joining us on this live broadcast. Just past the New Hope Junction. From New Hope, next is the Black Gina Black Gina Marks. Giving you a pictorial view of the traffic from the ELWA junction, and now we are around the St. Francis junction, fast approaching the Jacotown community. So yes, while we agree that there are other drivers who are on go slow, but equally so, there are drivers who are plying the street of Monrovia and also moving to other parts of the country. So this is a Lone Star gas station area just past the Jacotown junction, or community if you may, and we are fast approaching the Nizo junction. So making the stop around the Nizo area, observing the traffic light.
The thing is, the video not at it, easy green.
So we are like 2 to 3 minutes away from being packed and not in motion. And some people will take chance of the situation to paint the negative picture that, well, the entire country is locked down because commercial drivers are on go slow actions. But with this live coverage, you yourself will see that, well, I need not to be too exactly what is happening in the traffic, but you yourself will see that there are vehicles plying the streets, and there are others who have parked their vehicles and are on go slow. But to squarely say that all of the commercial vehicles are off the street today, because it was said that the would have packed all of their vehicles as a means of going slow to draw the government of Liberia attention to what they claim as the unlawful tickets being issued by the police to commercial drivers. So we are in red light, the commercial district of red light. So this is one of the many stopping points for tricyclists. So once they reach here, they will have to turn on their left and go back to the direction of the Japan's freeway. This place is noted for a traffic jam. Red light. But if you see the number of vehicles or tricycles that are in red light, and then you want to agree with me that this is not a holistic go slow action by commercial drivers. So if you're just joining us, we want to say thanks for joining us on this live broadcast from Red Light. We started this broadcast from the ELWA junction. And drove all the way to a central town where we then drove along the the Valtown route. And from Valtown, we also embarked on our journey along the Jeepens Freeway. So from the Jeepens Freeway, we are now in the commercial district of Red Light, and we will obviously turn right to go back to the ELW junction, where we will bring this broadcast to a closure. I'm here with my colleague Aaron Talu. Observing the traffic amidst report of a go-slow action by commercial drivers. Earlier on, before our broadcast, the Inspector General of the Liberia National Police and the Deputy for Operation, Nelson Freeman, were in Red Light. So the Inspector General of Police and the Deputy for Operation, Colonel Gregory Kuma and Nelson Freeman, were both in Red Light after they received news of commercial drivers who are on their go-slow action. It was being alleged that they were actually preventing other commercial drivers. Yeah. So Red Light is partially free due to the restriction that was instituted a month ago by the Liberia National Police, that tricycles should have a particular stopping point and that they should not enter Red Light So this is Red Light for you. Red light over the years, since they try relocating the market, all of the parking lots were transferred from red light to the market junction, and some of them around the Pakopin area, and some as far as the Kukula factory area. So if you saw that picture on the social media, that they were debating that because of the clear nature of red light, they were surpassing that commercial drivers were actually in their numbers when it comes to the go slow action. But even if commercial driver were to see, well, we are coming back on the street to run, red light is not open to parking lots. And so you see, you have commercial vehicles here.
There's a girl you said you won't be holding. They may see clean your back and schedule your ways. You don't know your weekly restaurant. You can make 2 million room or more. Every time you competition, just by the medicine.
And so amidst the go slow action by commercial drivers, let it be known that there are still other drivers, commercial drivers, who are plying the streets. They are also running traffic. And it's also important to let you know that, yes, there are drivers who have parked their vehicles and they are observing the go slow actions. Equally so, so you see commercial vehicles. Yeah, commercial vehicles. So this is a call to the commercial drivers union and also to the National Transit Authority. Well, to avoid getting tickets from police officers, always make sure to have the necessary documents before plying the street. You cannot have on slippers and driving, and once you are parked by the police and issue a ticket and you say, oh, it's unlawful, but you know, driving in slippers is a violation. And I think there should be a wake-up call for or to the National Transit Authority that you always have day of such coming up. We have seen drivers going on go slow, and this will not be the last time.
She's young, though. I guess staring at her.
So
Why she go see a family?
So once you can have, like the NTSA, some of the buses that are coming in country will be used for feeder roads. Talking about the Johnsonville Road, the Bannersville Road, the New Georgia Road, the 72nd Road. Yes, once you can have mini buses in country, coupled with the MTA buses that will have the capacity to go across the country, and the trucks that will also be used for some of the cooperatives where you now have business people taking their goods from the farm to Monrovia and charging or selling them for a very high fee. Once the NTA is providing a service whereby cooperatives goods will be brought in Monrovia or other parts of the country for a reasonable amount, then they will have no reason to actually charge, because some of the justification that they give for their actions, for example, one, well, we are paying huge sum of money to the truck drivers, and two, they decide where to go, when to go. But if you, as the National Transit Authority, whereby if a private truck is charging to bring goods from maybe Tapeta to Monrovia for 17,000, and you, the NTA, go about charging maybe 10,000 or 9,000, and you see the disparity in the prices, people will obviously turn to the NTA, because at the end of the day, people don't shift blame on private vehicles owner. No, they don't shift blame on private vehicle owners. It is the government of the day that will take the blame. Today, if you were to carry your microphone to some of the pedestrians who are actually finding it difficult to get car, they will shift the blame on the government, or they shift the blame on the Liberia National Police. They will not shift blame on the commercial vehicle owners who decided just a day or two that, well, we are not putting our vehicles on the road because of XYZ reason, and you can take them to court. You can arrest them. It's not force. So once the government is capacitated to get rid of some of the embarrassment, and then you will not have, before commercial driver take any decision of such, they will think twice that, well, we have a robust National Transit Authority that is capacitated to go across the country. Well, folks, we will bring this broadcast to an end thanks to the entire team. The man Richmond Sim drove us through, and Aaron Talu has been behind camera. Thanks to our Deputy Director General for New Media and Rebranding, Mr. D. Flomo. My name is Aisin Diba, and we are bringing this broadcast to a closure. Thanks for watching, and do have yourself a pleasant afternoon.